7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You'll never have the sacred stone.
Oh, this you crazy mother.
All power to the people. It's the Brea Listen Podcast, the black podcast focusing on social political issues and how they affect our communities. With your hosts, Brea Ward, Cedric Owens, Matt Smiley, and Anthony Roberts. Brea Listen. Brea Nation, what's good? We back at it again. Tank, I can tell by his eyes and his reaction, he don't like when I call him Cedric Owens.
Cut that bullshit.
That's professional. This is a professional podcast.
What Charlamagne the God name? Don't nobody know?
Oh, Monique knows. I was about to say Monique called his name out real quick when he was on the show. But Brea Nation, what's up? Welcome back again. Episode number 14 of the Brea Listen Podcast. We feeling good. We feeling great. We're going to get into it today for you. We just want to appreciate everybody that listening for us and back on it again with us, and that's great, and we appreciate that as well. So we're going to get straight started today. I guess I should ask y'all how y'all doing. Y'all feel all right?
Yeah.
Man, I'm fucked up, brother.
Oh, then that mean everybody great.
Fuck
So,
life.
so Matt gave us a nod too, y'all. He the silent killer, so you know. But yeah, man. So everybody feeling great. We're gonna hop straight into it. Matt happened to share something with us from Vice, although the story was from like 2 years ago. It's still relevant or whatever. It was about bail bondsmen and bail bonds in America and the cash bail system in general, and how they're using the cash bail system and basically making poor people who can't afford to get out of jail, basically using that to make profit off of them. And it's a real bad system. It's a whole bunch of deep things about it. If you want to check it out, it was a Vice News, I believe, on YouTube, and you could just check it out. Just Google bail bond system U.S. and it'll pop up. It was a real good article, but we're gonna talk about that today because it goes into the whole criminal justice reform thing. And do we think well, of course we think criminal justice system needs reform, but one of the issues about it, and this is one of the little sub issues that I feel like after watching this video for like the third time, I really feel like it's a big time issue, and we struggling with it in America. Something interesting in the video that I noticed was America and the Philippines are the only countries in the world that have a for-profit bail system. Nobody else in the whole world have it except America and the Philippines. So I feel like we usually try to look at ourselves as exceptional. So I don't think we would want to align ourselves with that. But Matt, you brought up the issue, man. Tell me what you thought about it when you first watched this video and what you think about these issues, man.
You know, I think it's just another example of where systemic racism leads to institutions and practices that, while on the surface they appear like, okay, at least you can pay 10% out. You can get this bond. You don't have $500,000. You can put down $5,000, and at least you get out of jail. But how fair is it when you go back to trial in 3 months, the charges get dropped, and you out of $5,000?
Right.
And then on top of that, the bonds aren't set relative to the crime. There was a specific instance mentioned in the video where the killers of Freddie Gray, the cops, had the same bond or lower bond than the dude arrested for basically public disorderly conduct.
Right. And you guys might remember the kid that had his bond was $250,000. No, it was $500,000 for his bond, and Freddie Gray's killers was $250,000 for their bond. And you might remember the guy because the imagery is being everywhere. It's the one kid who stood on the back of the police car with the baseball bat, and he was hitting the police car, busting out the windows. They gave him a $500,000 bond.
After he turned himself in.
Because he didn't think it was no big deal. Disorderly conduct, you go home or whatever. But they shot him with a $500,000 bond. But the guys who got charged with manslaughter.
Well, that ain't no way to get money from it if you ain't got. Wouldn't it be more sense to have a lower bond so you could actually get some money? But they just want
they don't want him out of jail. It work on both ways because if the niggas don't have money, they can't get out. And if the niggas do have the money, we got their money.
Do they get paid when you sitting in the county for every prisoner, or is that costing the state money?
That costs the state.
That costs the state money. So why they keeping these niggas?
You think the state don't care about paying to keep niggas locked up?
Well, everything is always in the end about profit. So they don't just want to lock a whole bunch of niggas up and take care of them outside or inside the jail. So what's the real thing why they don't give a nigga a bond.
Well, from what I was looking at, and when I was doing research into this after we saw the video, the bail bond industry make over $25 billion or something like that a year or whatever, and the money that they taking in from it or whatever, they pay taxes on because it's a business, so they getting their money regardless or whatever. The bail bond pay the whole bond or whatever because that's what it is. It's basically like an insurance. They front it. So if your bond $50,000. You pay $5,000, right?
10%.
So yeah, 10%. So if your bond 50,
some asset as collateral.
right? So if your bond 50,000, you need 5,000. So either you put up an asset or you put the 5,000 up. You give the bail bondsman 5,000, but the bail bondman pay the court 50, because the court say 50, it's 50.
Well, hold on.
No, they put the bond up.
Yeah, they put the bond up. My
They're
bad.
gonna
Yeah,
get the money
they
back
put a
when the
right.
bill
They
report.
put the bond up for 50 G's. So if you renege on that bond, then the court get the 50 G's from the bond, because that's how a bond works.
Wait, so if I don't use a bail bond and then just pay the bond myself, I get my money back? That's how
If you
that
got
works?
50 G's,
Yeah, ain't nobody got no money. Look, I got a personal gripe.
For that.
yeah, for that.
Since we talking about bail bonding, nigga, these sorry bitches. I got a personal gripe with Make It Happen bail bonds. Y'all bastards. Let me tell you something about these motherfuckers. I got locked up for I was doing some naked business with a nice young lady in the public. Nah,
Not the Publix, the public.
not the public.
Public.
No, not public. I love
You ain't got
Publix.
no business by that
Okay.
fried chicken doing
Anyways,
We good people.
that. We good people. We just trying to get this ass by this chicken
somebody
ass.
obviously don't like to see niggas fucking out there and call the police on me. Let me tell you what Make It Happen bail bonds. When the person called to see what my bail was, they told them all my business. Like, oh, I don't think you want to get him out. He been blah 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 blah. Fuck y'all Make It Happen bail bonds. I call somebody coming to pay bail. They don't need all that personal information.
It's insurance. You making an application for it.
You gotta have it all,
Don't think
cuz.
Geico ain't asking you questions.
Hey
Man,
man,
you
how
can't be
many
like,
bricks?
just give me the bond. It don't matter that I'm a
It don't
killer
matter.
and I
None
killed
of that.
17
None
babies
of that
in a row.
matters.
It's your people's coming to like yo. They ain't got to know all that. Just pay the bond and let it go on. Give me all my
Oh, she
business.
just told your personal family
Yeah,
that.
all goddamn minute. And then we're making suggestions. I don't think you want a little ratchet ass bail bombing. Don't fuck with Make It Happen bail bond. Go to Valentine. That is my.
Don't go to no bail bond. We'll get to that by the
People
end.
get fucked up all the time. Hey, Valentine's is real professional.
That's the point.
That's part of the problem with
Yeah.
the bail system too. Is that when you got black people and minorities being arrested disproportionately,
Right.
now they having to deal with bonds disproportionately. And the other part of it is this: if I spend $5,000 to get out, that's $5,000 I don't have for my defense.
Right.
Exactly.
And now you got a PD, and that's a whole different show.
And now you done burnt up $5,000.
That's a whole. Brea, what
I
was
think
your
my-
first thoughts? Oh, go ahead. I was just about to ask you, what was your first thoughts?
I think my biggest issue with it is the fact that it's just like normal people that's taking this money from people. I think that's my biggest issue with it. Like you just
The bail
decide.
I'm about to say, what you mean by normal people? I was just about to ask you that.
Like you just say, hey, I'm gonna open a Bell's Bondsman place, and you get to do this to the communities that's surrounding you. I think that's my biggest issue. Everything in America is for profit, whether it's wrong or right, and people don't even care.
Capitalism,
about that.
man.
I love it.
And it's really wrong, and they're like preying on black people. Like I keep forgetting his name. He was in 13 as well. But the gentleman, he had glasses, the black guy, and they put him in jail for like 3 years,
Yeah.
waiting for his trial, and because they wanted him to take a plea, and he didn't even do.
Right,
what they
you talking
said.
about the kid from New York?
I keep forgetting
I
his
can't think of his
name.
name right now, off the top of my
He was in the
head.
video too.
Khalif, yes,
Khalif.
yes, and he was put in jail for a petty crime
Right.
that he didn't commit. He said he didn't do the crime. They gave him a high bond.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't want to bond out. He's like, I'm not bonding out on something I ain't even do,
Right.
because I'm gonna be out of, like you said, Matt, 5,000, 6,000, whatever it is. I'm gonna be out that. I'm not bonding out. And he did 3 years. It took the freaking county of New York, whatever county that is, of New York City, it took them 3 years to figure out if they had enough evidence to press charges on this dude. And they kept him in jail for 3 years in Rikers Island, and then found that he was not guilty. They didn't have no charges. They released him. And then he did a whole bunch of activism stuff against them after that, but he ended up committing suicide in the
I don't know
end.
about that New York shit. That New York shit is a whole lot different than out here because you got a certain amount of time that you have to be charged with something before.
Clearly, it's at least 3 years.
No,
they
not
can
down
hold
here. Not down here. Like, if you ain't charged with something within 42 days or something, and you're
but see-
arrested, then they have to let you go.
But see, what they can do is we really want to get you for murder, but we're going to arrest you for public nudity.
you. Right.
So we got you on that one charge, so we're going to get you to sit while we go looking for information that can get a conviction on the murder.
I don't
I
know.
mean, this bounty hunter stuff is just like how it was in slavery when the slave catchers used to go and catch the slaves for the court and the court making money off of it. I feel like it's the same thing.
I agree. It did have that same imagery to me. When the one, if you everybody out there in Bruh Nation, if y'all go, I encourage y'all to go watch the video and to subscribe to Vice, but also subscribe to Bruh Listen. But subscribe to Vice because it's really good. They put good content out. And if you watch the video, the lady from Empire Bail Bonds, the white lady, when she was yelling at the other dude, now the dude wasn't even black. He was a Latino dude. He was like, "You're a little shit. You don't care about your family." She was berating this dude. All because you had to cash one of your bonds in?
No, because you know what? Your mama done put the house up, and all you had
Now
to do
that's
was
true.
be here Tuesday
Now that's true.
with my $100.
I can't even argue with that, Matt. You actually
We got
right.
to come looking for you
But that's another thing. Let's talk about that real quick.
and the caliber of
But
customer.
why
they
why
dealing
should
with.
I have to keep paying for this? If I wasn't charged for anything, why should I still be having to pay for that?
You
That's
should go
just
to jail.
ridiculous.
Because you're
No,
going to jail.
that's
So
ridiculous.
here's something that I noticed from the video that I think is really fucked up or whatever. The disproportionate shit, right?
Yeah.
So justice supposed to be blind. It's not supposed to see your color, how much money you got, or whatever. This is clearly justice seeing how much money you got. Because a dude who is a millionaire or comes from wealth, he might have 50 G's. But a dude who ain't come from nothing, he not gonna have 10% of 50 G's.
You talking about Paul Manafort?
Yeah, exactly. Paul Manafort can bond out right away, even if his bond $3 million, because he got $200,000
I don't
in the
know if
bank.
it's all about that, but it shows that black people own disproportionately. Y'all already
They're
know the
clearly
rest. We get higher
exploiting
bonds. We get higher
poor
bonds
people.
than crackers.
True,
Of
that's
course.
true. That was talked about in the
I mean,
video. But
that's
here's
how
the
they do
thing
it.
too, not just black people. I don't even want to make this just a black issue. This is a
Shit,
this
that's
is
all
an-
that matter.
This is an American justice issue, period. Because if you fix the system, period, it'll fix it for black people and everybody
No, it
else.
won't. No, it
You
won't
don't think
because
so?
no, it won't because the whole money thing that's different than a black thing and the nigga thing because that got to do specifically with KKK judges. They see a white boy who did this, they give him this amount of bond. They see a black person that did this, the same crime, and they make his substantially higher. We get sentenced longer for the same crime as white people, and I don't know how they gonna fix that shit.
Right.
Whatever. That's a white people thing. That ain't a system thing. That got to do with the crackers.
Yeah, but see, that's the thing though.
Kill him.
Oh.
Bought the judge.
But see,
I'm
that's
sick of this shit. I'm ready to revoke my
It is
nigga.
very frustrating. But see, to me, that's the thing about it, though. Okay, so justice not blind in this situation because you can't. If the bond's not set based on the person's income, then it's already fucked up. Because if you're not setting the bond based on your income, the bond gonna be too high. Period. Second of all, even beyond that, there should be no bond set. Why is it that us and the Philippines are the only countries in the world?
Wait, what's the
doing this?
solution then?
Entire world.
To get
What's the solution?
Go ahead,
Matt.
man. Go ahead, man.
I like solutions, baby. Give me a solution.
So the solution is what the District of Columbia went to.
Exactly.
Which
Right.
is pre-trial intervention, and it's basically 3 levels. Once you get arrested, you can either be released on your own recognizance, just come back on the 5th for your court date.
That's it.
You can be released with some type of supervision, like an ankle monitor,
Or
or
whatever.
you have to
right?
check in
Probation
with
officer,
your
whatever. Yeah.
right, with your PO leading up to trial, or remand. You done killed 4 people.
You
We
ain't
can't let
going
we
nowhere.
can't let you
Right.
loose.
And
Right.
that's
they,
fair.
And they said with that, 80% of the people show up for their court date.
Yeah.
In the district, 88% of people
But see,
still show up.
and the national average is 72%.
Right.
So I think the bail bond things in general put fear in people's heart, and that's part of making them not show up.
Well, part of it too is you got to think if you arrest someone who's on the lower tiers of our society to begin with,
Right.
now you're taking them away from whatever employment they would have had. You've disrupted their family over what crime, right?
But that's the
Like-
thing.
like
that's
these
the thing with
low-level
America
offenses.
and white people. They don't care about your whole situation. They trying to keep people down, especially the people who are rich. They want to keep people poor as much as they can. So
And
if
that
they
makes
slap
sense.
you with this bails bonds that you got to pay or whatever, then that's keeping you under. That's keeping you from actually excelling and making something of yourself.
Well, you know what Matt said with the whole, if you already, like, say, like me, if I get arrested, I got to bond out. Because if I don't go to work, I'm losing my job.
Who watching the kids?
Right, who watching Anna? So that in that situation, it forces people to take on these bonds. You feel like as a minority or as a person that's impoverished, you don't have a choice.
That depends now. What about real criminals? Now we had like all these niggas innocent. Every
Well,
nigga
that's
ain't
what
innocent.
that's where
But
the three.
so that's the thing. With the DC part, the other part is when you're arrested, they have a whole department set up to pull your rap sheet,
your
to look
mental
at
health issue,
your
history,
health, your
all of
general
that.
medical situation, your family set up. They trying to see, okay, is there somebody who's gonna be dangerous if they released?
I was gonna say some of these niggas can't be releasing them right
And
back into the
but
street.
see,
But
but
that's-
But they
we
won't
can
get
do-
out. Yeah,
but
they
what
won't
we
get
can
out.
do is we can remand them.
Right.
But
You
we-
going back to jail.
Right.
But
But
right
then-
now,
but see, when
but
you
no,
remand them-
no, what's
fucking
happening right
brother,
now is they just arresting people for petty stuff and say, "Hey, you got a $500,000 bond." You feel me? It's not fair.
But when you remand them, who is that up to?
It's the judge.
Judge. We
and the
right
tribe.
right back to the KKK.
But then they
We
only get
not-
those
we
three
not
choices.
right
Yeah,
back- we not right back.
It's
to the
good in
KKK.
DCC. I don't know about
In
I don't know about
Chocolate City?
Mississippi.
In Chocolate City, but see,
I don't know about
but see-
Alabama.
But
If you
here's the
just
thing, though.
remand niggas without a bail, no bail, whatever.
But no,
we just gonna hold.
there's a review court. So
Right.
here's the
Yeah,
thing.
okay, yeah,
So
I'm
if
playing
the
this shit
if
with
the judge, like what Matt's saying, there's a
Wow, I don't
review
trust
court.
Steve Crackers
So
black.
if the judge remands you, and the review board, because the review board gives the suggestion. So they say either remand, release a recognizance, or whatever. So if they say release a recognizance and you do freaking remand and you keep doing that for black people, you're gonna have a track record then. So then they'll be able to get the
not
judge.
even- it's
Nigga,
not even-
judges right now got a track record for sentencing niggas disproportionately.
Yeah, but at least that'll condense it. You get what I'm saying? They don't have as much control over
It's a
just
cho-
saying,
it's-
"Hey,
you're taking
boom,"
a
just
choice.
like that.
Yeah. to get the crackers off the bench.
You making a choice for the judge before
Right.
he has to think about it.
Exactly.
Right.
It's a
Exactly.
lot easier for
Judges-
him to
yeah.
open up the
It's-
file.
yeah,
and say,
you're right.
The state attorney say,
Very true, man.
Release with an ankle
Judges
monitor.
do
if
have-
you want to do it, have fun.
There you
A
go.
track record right now. But the reason why it's not being persecuted or nobody saying nothing about it but a small group of people is because there was no suggestion. So it's all the judge's opinion. Matt's right. If you got paperwork in front of you, paperwork on top of paperwork, where these people done research
Yeah.
a 4-person team that said this what we should do for that person and you go against it, you're gonna have to start answering
And you gonna have
questions.
some explaining.
But
Yeah.
you think they gonna have a start?
No, they gonna have to start answering questions.
Don't
bro.
say that
How you
as
get
a
around
fact
that?
because the
You're an
system has
elected
been in
official.
place. These crackers been doing this shit forever.
True, but we changing
since.
that.
But
That's why
now,
we
now
reform.
because they got a revision board, now all of a sudden that's going to change their. Or now they're not going to have the same track record.
Can't get the pot of gold without going
know.
over the rainbow.
I'm saying you could do
can't
that.
go from start to finish.
Gotta
I'm
start
saying
somewhere.
y'all could do that. All right, y'all could do that. But I guarantee you, the shit they're gonna keep that same track record,
Well, let
and
me
it's gonna
tell
go
you-
unchecked because nobody was. We had a black president. Nobody was checking for this criminal justice reform. No, we were about healthcare. We had what was before him?
Criminal
Bush.
justice
We had
reform-
Bush. We had Bush. I want to know. We had Bush before that. The last time we were talking about criminal justice reform was Clinton, and they was talking about locking more niggas up.
They did lock them on niggas up, but
That's
wait,
what it was.
but wait,
Now,
criminal,
when
criminal
is it gonna
justice
be the front
reform
fork?
is a huge legislative issue. You talking about changing the whole system of justice in America,
Like
But
the
just to
healthcare.
go- Just to go back to what we were saying though about this with the review board, we were just saying earlier about PDs and how that's a whole nother show, right? But if you say you do get remanded, right, and the board said you should have got out, that give your PD more ammunition. Why the judge going against the board? That's even helping your PD then.
So y'all don't know how this system works,
So,
boy.
so how about this then, right? Criminal justice system reform may be a ways off. But
Right.
what we have been seeing is changes in
Exactly.
what's legal and illegal, right? So we can agree that somebody going to jail for 5 years for an ounce of weed is a stretch. That's a bit more than unfair.
Right.
But if the state legalizes possession, right, that's one less reason for you to enter the criminal justice system.
Yeah.
Right. So maybe we can't get judges off the bench, but what we can do is change the rule book.
That's what I'm talking
by voting.
That's what I'm talking about. Goddamn it! Because these crackers,
Which one you talking about? The rule board or the judges off the bench?
No, you got to change the rules.
The
Okay.
laws.
Because when you still giving the judge free reign to do whatever the fuck he want to do, they still see when they see that big black dude or young black boy. When they see a 16-year-old black boy, he might as well be a grown ass man.
I'ma say this,
They
though.
don't see babies. They see grown ass men when they see these.
But you're not gonna like mandatory minutes.
Right. I'm about to say, I'm gonna see this. I'm gonna say this though, and it might sound weird coming from me, But I gotta give it credit, man, because lately the stuff I've been seeing with judge over prosecuting and judges being like basically unfair within the law, I've been seeing them getting called out.
Mm-hmm.
The lady who treated the one lady who couldn't breathe and stuff like that, she had COPE and she was real sick and ill, and the Miami judge, white lady, and this was a black lady that was sick, just berated her. She lost her seat on the bench. The dude in New York who had a track record of sentencing black juveniles to jail, more than white juveniles to jail, lost his seat. And I just seen today a story where a judge was, he was a traffic judge, just like Judge Flower was that bitch in Jacksonville or whatever, but he was a traffic judge and he was letting white people on DUIs keep their license or get off, but he was giving black people the harshest penalty he can. He lost his seat.
I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it. I'm not
start.
gonna say it is real quick. I'm not gonna say it is and it ain't progressing, but we can't be fooled by a couple of YouTube and Facebook clips.
Which is
that come
fine,
out.
but you got to start the conversation somewhere. The fact
Right.
that they're putting it out there and starting the
Throw that shit out
conversation
there.
is, you know,
Monkeys got to throw some shit on the wall, see what stick.
Nah, man, come on.
Them two don't go
Them
together.
no.
I put it together. Throw some shit on the wall and see what
Because
stick.
like at some
I
point,
mean, I
Y'all-
totally,
go ahead, bro.
I totally agree with it. The whole pre-trial process
Yeah.
that they're doing, I think it's gonna make it better.
Oh,
And
yeah.
it takes the money out of the hands of people who are exploiting poor people. I hate that crap.
Oh, you was talking about the bail
but
bonds.
see the
man.
thing,
Yeah.
though,
I feel like
what-
they're exploiting people.
One thing the dude from East Coast bail bonds did say, if they change bail law, I'll go make pizzas. See, that's the beautiful thing about capitalism is, right?
Right.
People who want to make money gonna do something to make
Don't do
money.
something, that's
You
fine.
tell them
Just
they
don't
can't
do
do
it at
A,
the-
they gonna find B.
People
Now-
don't want
Don't
to
do it at
make
the
money, gonna sit
expense of
around
other
and
people.
complain. You bums.
We might get rid of bail bonds and then
Something else might pop up.
now we got more liquor stores.
I'm glad
than we
you
know
brought
what to
up.
do with.
I'm glad you brought up the dude from East Coast Bail Bonds or whatever, because I'm gonna bring up the chick from Empire Bail Bonds and what she said. So, and that's a question I'm gonna ask y'all. What? Okay, so say somebody we had a review board. They released their own recognizance. They supposed to show up to court or whatever, right? So then, like they say, who go get these people?
The U.S. Marshals.
That's what I said. I said that too. But they were saying that's gonna cost
Bounty hunters.
taxpayers more money for
Probably,
us to pay them.
yeah.
But that's the marshal's job. Who they going to get right now? Ain't you supposed to go get people with warrants?
Yeah, put an ankle monitor on.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, if you,
That's
if
it. Call it a day.
what you running for?
I like private. I like the idea of private bounty hunters. Anybody that can go make a hustle.
How far are you running?
But then
Right.
the other gentleman made a good point too. He was like, "These people are already poor. Where they gonna go? They can't just pack up everything and leave.
Yes.
Where they gonna go?"
That was
They ain't
a
got passports to do
right.
it.
That was
Exactly.
right.
Hey, I'ma flee the country.
But that's another
Like,
thing about
come on,
setting
bro.
bail. You can actually, and I looked into this. You can actually right now set no bail and release somebody at their own recognizance.
Yeah.
You can do that right now. Bail is something that's supposed to be set based on your flight risk and your risk
That's
to
what it's
escape.
supposed to
The
be.
So
circumstances of your arrest.
So-
right.
Steady.
So
Yo.
somebody that get
Yeah, it's
arrested for stealing shoes from Foot Locker, right out the back, and they from 5020 or whatever, they from Cleveland Arms or whatever. They ain't got no passport, they ain't got no money to buy no plane ticket, and they don't own a car. But then you set their bail at $150,000. That's
That's
For
not the
what?
norm now. They bail. I'm innocent.
my nigga.
No,
that might be the norm.
It's probably gonna be like 25 grand.
No,
Even
no,
if
no,
it's
no.
25 grand,
That's
that's
too much for him.
Yeah.
Okay, well, wait. Y'all niggas ain't been. How many courts have y'all?
How many
sat
people
through?
have bonded out?
No.
Oh,
How many-
tell 'em, man.
How many courts? How many courts have y'all been through and just seen and just sat through and seen line? When you go to court, if you a first time offender, all right, if you got $150,000 for stealing some shoes, that's some outrageous, out of the normal shit.
You don't think
Your
for
bond probably
a
would.
disorderly conduct, $250,000 is outrageous? Because
That's-
they did it to 23 people that same day.
23. Okay, now
And they was just rounding up people.
Yeah.
They didn't even
Alright.
know if they
20
did
One
anything
nigga was
or not.
walking home to see
He was
his
walking
daughters.
home, and they arrested him. Didn't
20
tell him what his charges were, and they charged him $250,000.
23 compared
off it.
to 100,000 disorderly conduct.
What's the average bond, Tank?
All right,
What do you think the average bond is?
Because I just sat through the fucking bond hearings or whatever, and if you,
I'm saying, what you think the average bond is?
or whatever, you get about 2,500, and you got to pay 250 or 5,000.
Okay, so if
or
it's
10
5,000,
or 10,000 at the most if you did something extreme, and that's $1,000. But it's not no 150,
Okay.
50,000
For you,
No,
You
All
just
right,
said
all
in the
right.
course of you sitting there, You won't hear that number like that.
Right.
Yes, you're not going to hear that outrageous number.
Okay.
But even
That's all I'm
but-
saying.
Thank you, Matt.
but
Go ahead
even-
and say
I mean,
it.
at 5,000, at 2,000.
It's too much.
Because there was a reason I was still in these shoes.
Right. It's
No.
too much.
If you got a 5,000, it used to be a $5,000 or $10,000 bond.
But
Unless
that's
you did
$500.
something. Unless you did some machine, then that's 500 and two.
And
When you say
and
150,000, that's
some
$50,000.
Again,
And
you
the
talking
money
about
you gotta go sell some dick to get that money.
you talking about
What we talking about? I just wanted to stay realistic.
No,
Not,
that's
don't
what
throw
I'm
out
saying.
astronomical
but that's
numbers.
what-
so.
That's my point, though. The average bond is $15,000. That's the average bond in America.
Yes.
Right.
Okay. That makes sense. That makes
That's
sense.
Too much damn money.
No, whether you got to think about the range of crimes and shit. I don't know what's all. That's every crime.
It don't matter
in the middle.
But that's my point. Like,
That's
but
murder.
it could
That's
be-
murder, robbery.
but-
That's everything though.
But it could be you and your old lady got into a fight, and now she's still mad, so she ain't bonding.
Your
yet.
mind,
Yeah,
your
but
mind
I'm
gonna be
saying-
$500, man. Shit, you ain't got that
But
$500, then you
wow.
fucked up in life,
That's
my
how,
nigga.
That's how they got you in the first place.
Right.
and yes, they are fucked up in life,
You
so they
fucked
don't
up
have
in
the
life.
$5,000.
Hey
So
man,
lock 'em
it
up.
is what it
Lock
is. Sit
them
your
up.
It's
ass
acting like
in
people got $500 just to sit on the
man,
table.
sit your ass in jail and chill till your court date.
I ain't
Goddamn
even
it.
did shit.
Wow.
No.
But now you
Nah,
I'm
you
just gonna sit in jail if I ain't do anything.
Yeah, now you
What's
lost your job.
You done lost your
That what?
job. It's on your record.
Well, that means your last paycheck you gonna have $500 to bond your black ass out. Then
Can't use it for that. How I'm gonna beat this?
Yes.
how you gonna beat it?
Because then what if
Hey,
they're
man, you
what
ain't
if,
gotta- don't
no?
worry about
Because
them
then
getting no
what if their
lawyer.
case does not get dismissed when they finally go back to court?
Then at least-
How
at
they
least
gonna
you'll
pay
be
for a
out-
lawyer?
No, at least you'll be on the outs though. Ain't nobody got no money. A
know-
lawyer is a whole nother. That's
know-
a whole nother
you know-
topic.
Still money.
That's a whole nother topic though. I can't put the lawyer in with the
You
bail
know what this
bond,
bail
though. That-
bondman
You
shit
can only
remind me
spend $1
of?
once.
Yeah, exactly. You know what this bail bondman shit remind me of? The resisting arrest charge. It's one of the most
That's a
bullshit
bullshit
charge
Yeah, that is.
ever, right?
Yeah.
So say a police pull me over, I ain't do shit or whatever, and he want to arrest me, and I'm like, no, you can't arrest me because I ain't do nothing. That's resisting.
I done kind of came to Matt's side because I remember Matt a long time ago. He was like, and the niggas in the Starbucks just buy the fucking coffee. I see a lot of these videos that niggas just be doing too much. I just seen a Waffle House video where they overcharged for orange juice.
Waffle House again?
Yeah, I don't know what these niggas doing at Waffle
Hold on,
House.
stop real
Fuck
quick.
Waffle
I'm gonna let you
House.
finish your point. Listen, everybody out there in Bruh Nation.
Yes.
Stop going to goddamn Waffle House. Y'all can't act right in that bitch. Y'all keep fucking up.
Y'all
Don't
don't
go there
But
no
hey,
goddamn more.
But hey, so they the orange juice $1.50. They charged the nigga $2.50. So they asked the nigga why. I guess they got into it with her about the bill behind. She called the police. Now the police here. Now him and his old lady snapping outside there, going, I ain't going to jail. My hands up. I don't want to know about my bill. Blah, 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 blah.
Do you want your dollar?
Nigga, you
sir?
nigga go home.
I want my whole dollar
Now,
back.
of course, the
I was gonna
police
do
are
something with
wrong
that
for
dollar.
sending him to jail. But nigga, you're doing too much.
Yeah, I agree. I'm
We do
actually
too
on
much
that
sometimes.
particular situation.
How you
I'm gonna have to
showing
flow
out
with
the
Matt. Yeah, usually me and Matt on stuff like that. You know, I got too much pride for that, and I'm like, stand on your laurels, nigga. If your laurels is $1, you a dumbass nigga. Boy.
It's time to sit and reflect.
Yeah, if you about to go to jail for $1, bro, you stupid. Like that's dumb. I'm not going to jail for $1, bro. You can have that whole dollar. You can have that whole dollar.
But shit, we
But you
do
know,
too-
niggas don't
we
know
do
how to
too
act
much
on restaurant
sometimes.
bills.
Still got your
anyways.
orange juice at the end of the day.
Yeah, you got your own. You drunk the juice, nigga.
On the menu, it say $1.50.
No, baby. We don't spend
Why the
$30.
bill so high?
It should have been 29.
You should.
I want a minute.
That nigga should have went to the Waffle House. Man.
Take it out the tip, bro, and go
Boy, how much a
home.
Waffle House? How much you think a Waffle House check is?
Shit.
$30 for 4 people?
Yeah, folks
This nigga complained about $1.
A dollar?
And y'all
God.
Go home. Go home.
You know what that nigga bond gonna be, right? $50,000.
officer,
Because you were showing up.
officer, you keep telling me to pay. You ain't tell her to explain why my bill's so high.
That's what he was saying.
Sir, are you drunk?
Are you drunk, sir?
Yes.
Hell
So
yeah, I'm
high.
drunk. I'm at
A
Waffle
whole
House.
dollar higher.
Sir, I pushed the wrong button. What do you want from me?
That nigga should have went to IBOP.
We not gonna get started.
I bought no nigga.
IHOP. That nigga should have went to IHOP. International House of Burgers. Should have went there.
Plan B.
Fuck the Waffle House, that nasty ass shit. All right. Well, I did used to like their ham and cheese omelet, but
Smothered and covered.
it been a long
I've
time since
never
I've been
eaten
in
a
Waffle
Waffle
House.
I can't vote with no Waffle House either,
It
man.
looks so unsanitary.
But you can be a sponsor on the show, though. But I can't
They
vote.
hire the best crackheads and trap
Oh.
niggas to sell dope and cook your food out of the Waffle
And you know
House.
what? If they get caught selling dope and they can't bond out, they losing that Waffle House cook job. They losing it.
Go.
That's the thing. The Bells bond thing got to go, Tank.
It got
Hey,
to.
Kendra,
It
got
got
the
to.
bell bomb. You got to go. Excuse me, podcast. We having a break right now. Kendra, come here. You gonna bring me that bottle from over there?
Oh gosh.
Apparently,
way in the back.
from way in the back. Apparently, Tank
Yeah, we
ain't have
need-
enough liquor.
Yeah, we need. I gotta get it.
AJ get up. He got on zoot shoes and
Hey,
everything.
I'm not married to AJ.
He wants you to. He want.
She is my servant.
He want to walk in.
That's what wife means.
I'm sorry. What?
That shit
You ain't.
gets back
Y'all
down.
don't know what wife means.
I
in
thought you
Latin?
didn't want to talk about the black family.
I was
You
gonna
said
say
you-
because we sure about to get on this topic now. You know, open it up.
No,
Look at Matt. Matt disappointed.
No, I'm just focusing in. I'm ready. I want to hear this.
We ain't gonna talk about marriage because I'm happily married. All right, happy wife, happy life. I just want to keep my blood pressure low. Now, what we finna talk about is these immigrants coming across this border.
These who now?
These immigrants. Talking about my boy D over there said go home. If I was in
Whatever. They know
Mexico,
you here now. Just walk across the front of it.
unplug it. No, why you walking that way? What the heck?
Oh. Kendra, everybody out there in Bruh Nation, if you go back and watch the YouTube live stream, Kendra didn't want to be on the camera. She didn't want y'all to see, but she got to walk over here to give Tank the bottle. Oh, she passed it to Brea. Oh, yeah.
Just a little coke.
But yeah, Tank, that's a good segue, man.
Okay, yeah, I was trying to
At
get
the
into
end
the
of the
immigrant.
day, we did. Yeah, at the end of the day with this Bells bond thing,
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
we
yeah.
all
Gotta go.
frustrated. It got to go.
Gotta
and
go.
again, I want to go back real quick and say this: the fact that the Philippines and America is the only two places,
Only two places.
Yeah.
in the world that do the freaking Bells bond thing is out of control. You can't have that. You can't have it be the Philippines and America. Now, if it was like Canada, Mexico,
That's what make it right.
England. No, it don't make it right. You're right, man. But I'm saying, at least I would be like, well, you going along with the status quo. Because we tend to go along with the status quo a lot in America. But the fact that nobody else doing it,
It's technically unconstitutional.
It is.
it is. Yes. Before we
Super
go on to the next topic, we
The
do need to talk about
IRS
that.
unconstitutional. They still do it.
That's right.
They don't give a fuck.
You got to stand up
There
and
we go.
say
Ain't no. If
got to
everybody
vote
just
someday.
You
if
gotta
every-
vote. Yeah, what you say, Matt? You gotta do
gotta
what?
vote
You gotta
someday.
vote,
if
cuz.
everybody just said fuck the IRS, what they gonna do?
That's a good point, cuz. You hate,
What they gonna do?
you hate judges,
they're
right?
gonna arrest enough people. To make
Yeah,
people start paying.
well, I don't hate judges.
they gonna
I
do.
hate
That's all it
racist
is.
judges.
Right. You want to, yeah, right. You want to change the judges that are racist, right? You know you got to vote to do that.
They need
right?
a litmus test
For a judge.
Yeah, and voting is very important. Local voting is very important.
It's extremely important.
Voting.
It's extremely
No, I
important.
never said voting was.
When you said you didn't vote for the president, did you go in there and vote everything else, but you just didn't vote? You abstained from the president
Oh,
vote?
that was-
Because I'll let that slide.
what we talking about vote when now?
When we
Well,
talking
Yeah,
about
I
voting,
got I got shit I gotta take care of. Okay, I'm a 2-time felon. I gotta send shit to Tallahassee. I gotta do all kind of shit. I don't even know if they counted my shit
Not
last time.
can't vote and didn't vote.
It's two
and
different
voted,
things.
Voted for some.
Well, I
and
think
not
I
at
can't
all.
vote. Even if I did vote, I don't know if
Do
it
you-
was counted or not.
you got to check that out, bro. You can't
Hold
say
up.
I think I can't vote. You got to know. If
No,
you
I
can't vote.
well I know I can't. I gotta send shit to Tallahassee.
tell
Shit, nah, see, we done had all these conversations.
Yeah, we didn't know that.
We
We
out
thought
here
you just
crushing
ain't. You feel me?
Hey, I voted
Why
the
you
first
say that?
time for
Ain't no
Obama black
protest.
ass
So
because
how you voted the first time?
because it hadn't went in.
New
My
shit
shit
happened.
hadn't
Oh,
went
new
into.
shit happened. Okay,
yeah,
yeah.
well, I don't know if it did. It happen? It just
Man,
didn't
check
go
that
into
shit out.
effect
Check
yet.
that shit out immediately, because Bruh Nation, when these elections start, we definitely gonna hit you hard with the political stuff, because y'all got to vote, man.
Starting now.
Yeah, y'all got to vote, man.
Primaries.
Niggas don't care.
Yeah.
about
Primaries
voting,
do
man.
matter. Yes,
Local judges.
yes.
Shout out to
And,
Bernie
hey,
Sanders.
and you don't see Rick Scott trying to get your boy Bill Nelson out real clean. He up too. He up. So if y'all want Voldemort to be y'all senator, y'all don't vote.
Niggas,
You gonna get
man.
Voldemort. So
Niggas don't care. Niggas eating that shit.
what niggas need to care, boy. That's real talk.
Oh my lord.
What you got, Matt? What you got? What you got?
Man, it's such a difference in eating and living well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eating is something new and shiny. Living well is, I don't worry about my kids at night. They can be outside, they can be inside.
Inside, well,
I ain't worried
yeah.
about it when they go to school.
See that you talking about grown shit right now.
But niggas out here eating,
Only
so
grown-
it's all
yeah.
good, so
I was
ain't
say
gotta
only
vote.
grown niggas can vote.
No. Just because you're 18 don't mean you grown. When I talk about grown shit, I mean men, grown men. There's a lot of niggas that's of age legally, but not grown men responsibly. And that's the problem. That's why a lot of niggas don't give a fuck about voting. That's why a lot of ratchet bitches out here don't give a fuck about voting.
Ratchet. Oh.
Yeah, ratchet. Yeah, the hood. That's what I'm talking
People
about.
just don't give a fuck about voting in general.
People in
Yeah.
general.
That's
but-
what the problem
Because it ain't
is.
just because not majority of white people don't vote either.
That's
so
true.
it's
That's why I
not
said
it's not
people.
just niggas.
People need to vote.
But you know what really sucks about it is the people who need to vote most have so much on their plate already.
Right.
If I'm working 3 jobs and I gotta watch these kids, I don't know if I'm gonna make it to the library, and I get that.
Yeah.
But if you can be right next to where they voting, throwing a barbecue, and you don't go vote,
What's up?
shame on
See,
Man, what about and you know what too? I mean, I guess I'll give them a pass. Like, oh, I'm busy, but man, they have early voting for like 3 months before it's voting time.
But you gotta understand, people at the bottom trying to stay off the street have different priorities.
True.
And who are they talking to? They're like, don't forget to go vote.
Man, I go and vote the first day of early voting.
I think a lot of shit get instilled in you when you're young, and going to school and all of that. It really wasn't a big deal. I mean, you heard about it every now and then about voting, but it really wasn't no push. Like I know about death. I remember death, the drug shit or whatever.
It's the coloring books.
Yeah, you remember death.
You know what? That's
But
right.
the vote, the
I-
push,
well,
the
at my
push
high
to
school,
vote.
They made it like a big thing, especially for seniors who are turning 18.
Well,
Older
Like,
than
they-
y'all, that makes sense.
And it's a new generation too.
Yeah.
You a
Yeah,
different
they used to give
generation.
us,
They
like,
doing that
stickers,
now.
like,
Put me on game.
I voted. They give you a sticker.
Oh
when you go vote
yeah,
and everything.
they ain't give a fuck about that shit when I was in school. 2001, 2002, and they wasn't paying
I'm about to
attention
say,
to
Matt,
that
did
shit.
anybody come to Yosa High School to stand and try to register y'all?
They need to.
Oh,
Because-
you're right, Matt went to stand.
Plus, we was due, so 18, you got to register for the selective service.
Right.
Just in case they need.
And that automatically, yeah.
Yeah, so fill out all your paperwork at once, fellas.
Wow.
And do it before you become a felon.
But it got to be instilled in you when you young, and let you know how important it is. Goddamn it, because once you get grown, and then you're talking about you
got
hearing
other
about
stuff
how
to do.
important it is about voting. You got other shit going
Yeah,
on.
that's true.
Priorities
I
are
agree with that.
relative.
Yeah.
Very true. But all that being said, y'all go vote, niggas. Primaries coming up. Vote.
At least find out if you can.
Yeah, exactly. At
Know
least
your
find.
status.
Yeah, know your status.
Your status.
As Diddy
Don't
would
be
say,
looking at me.
as Diddy would say, rock the vote. You ain't never partied with me until you vote with Diddy. You ain't never partied with me.
I'm fucked up out here in these streets. I'm fucked up out here in these streets. All I can do is campaign, my nigga. So I
Do that. That's
campaign.
just as good.
You
Yeah.
ain't never vote like
Huh?
ever again?
No. Well, say what? No, I gotta send some for all you
Yeah,
all you
gotta-
felons out there.
tell 'em, tell you what
All
felons
right?
gotta do to vote.
There's some shit in Tallahassee. You gotta go look that shit up yourself. Google niggas, and
Flip it. Keep going.
you gotta fill out some paperwork and send that to get your rights back. That's the rights to get your firearms. Cause just because you're a felon don't mean you can't never have a pistol again. You gotta send that shit in Tallahassee for firearms and the vote. You gotta send that shit to Tallahassee, then they'll send you some shit back. Most likely, more than likely, you'll get it back unless you're a serial killer or some you crazy or some shit.
But see, what you're talking about, that's a Florida specific thing. And
Yeah, oh, yeah,
right,
that's in Florida. I don't know
And when
about
you
other
sit-
states.
And when your application or request goes in, it's reviewed by a board. And that was recently in the news because the
They
board,
backed up. Yeah, I was
It's
just
not
about to
even
say
that
that.
they backed up. It's no criteria
Yeah.
to say, okay,
Yes or no?
you did this crime, did
Yeah.
this time, you've done this with your life since then, you can vote. It's who's he related to?
Yeah.
Did
I
he
seen-
donate?
This justice
Yeah, it's no
system is
criteria. I
so
seen I know what Matt talking about. I
wild.
seen the thing, and they was saying they like
Crazy.
somewhere around 15 to 20,000 people behind
We got other stuff to
on
do
giving
now.
people their rights back.
That's so crazy.
They only grant right. Another thing too is they get thousands of submissions a year, and they only grant about 200 or 300 of them yes or no. So they not even answering. So and they was like, we don't got enough people in this office, and then the camera panned, and it was like 30 people in the office.
We ain't got time to read all of them.
Yeah, exactly.
That's all they do.
No, it's not. It's not. It's
No, they do
okay.
other stuff.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
they
I
do
just
other
wanted
stuff.
to
See, they wanna-
clarify.
they don't-
That's all they do. I'm like,
Maybe we should get people that.
They don't
that's the only
tell
thing they
niggas
do.
that the biggest hustle is all of that lawmaking and congressional shit. If you want to get some easy money, get into that shit. All of these people at the courthouses and
Politics.
law
That's
politics,
very
especially politics, because politicians, a lot of politicians
Lobbyists make
don't
most
do
money.
shit.
Lobbyists make a ton of
Yeah.
money.
the things they do go so unnoticed.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, it just kind of sucks. But it's again one of those things where if people aren't having these conversations on the regular at home about what has Bill Nelson done for me, it don't
Very
really
true.
much matter.
And you was talking about lobbyists and stuff like that. When the last time you think a nigga in 50-20 talked about a lobbyist?
Man, niggas trying to survive.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. So they not talking about lobbyists. So that's like a whole different. That's a whole different thing, man. That's a whole different thing. Regardless, go vote. Period. Because you know what? You can vote on this next topic that we about to talk about because this is very important too. Immigration. So in the news this week, Donald Trump, when he wasn't saving the world by becoming the tag team champions of the world with Kim Jong-un.
Trump out here
or
making
whatever,
things happen, baby.
Peace in North Korea.
Right.
Conceding that we'll never shoot a bullet their way again without getting anything in return. When he wasn't doing all that, he had assigned new rules for the immigration people, and apparently they starting to separate the children and the parents or whatever, and they're being detained in separate issues. So one of the things that came up this week was a Mexican woman, came across the border with her child who was an infant, and the child apparently was breastfeeding, and the ICE agent took the child off the woman's breast while he was feeding. Off the teat.
Milk still squirting.
And was basically, and so it was a big uproar, a big outcry about it on a lot of different media things or whatever about it. And it made me think, and I wanted to ask my boys and girls up here, my friends on this panel, how they feel about immigration. Because, you know, immigration is like one of the number one issues in all the last 4 or 5 election cycles or whatever. And I don't think, like, black people ever really, going back to what we were just talking about, I don't think black people ever really thought about or addressed the issue in general. Do you think this measure of immigration that they're doing with the separation of the children and the parents and detaining them for months and then deciding if they're going to send them back to the country of origin, do you think that's a thing? Do you think we should
God damn it, boy, if you don't get to the question,
I'm saying, that's the question.
Goddamn table.
Do you think we should open it up?
Spit it out.
Go ahead, Tank, you start it off.
I don't want to start it off. I
Nah,
want
you
niggas to
start it off. You started it off.
Because,
Thank you, man.
because in the case of illegal immigration, this ain't nothing new from America. This is the government separating parents for shoplifting, they taking people kids. For having a positive joy screen during pregnancy, they taking your kids. So don't think Lady America won't snatch them kids up off you.
Rumors. Just somebody saying you was abusive.
Just saying, right. You can
Come
lose
and take
your
your kids.
You can lose your kids and have to prove you ain't do it. You know what I'm saying?
True.
So for illegal immigration, I support immigration that we can keep track of. I just want to know who coming in my house. If people just running in through the backyard and I don't know you, that's a problem for me.
I don't give a fuck.
I don't understand the whole. You have a whole immigration system for. If they come across the border, just send them right back. I just don't understand this whole.
Send them right back.
If you see them coming across the border,
But
just send them right back across the border.
They're not necessarily from Mexico.
So where?
They could be from Honduras.
Yeah, some of
all
the people,
South
they travel
America.
for thousands of
So they
miles.
have no reason. Mexico has.
But
no
if
reason
you
to
see
accept
them come in from Mexico,
Push 'em?
send them back. I just don't understand. I'm sorry. I just really think this is like.
Oh, you said no matter where they
No matter where they
where
from, get your ass out of here.
That's where you came. If you came into America from Mexico, you can get yourself back to where you came from Mexico.
They ain't trying to go.
So wait. Let me put this in perspective. So if it's Canada and this is a nigga going into Canada, they gonna say fuck it.
Turn around and go back where you came from.
Okay, yeah, that makes
I'm
sense.
gonna say this
That makes sense.
But not if you sneak through the mountains.
Well, you're right.
If
About
you go
that.
sneaking through the mountains, first they got to figure out that
If
you
you
ain't
go
even from
My
there.
whole
if you
thing
go
is-
sneaking through the mountains, you got balls. Because that's the
Balls.
hardest shit, boy.
Hey man,
You really want to get here?
do you really want that
Or
life?
you might walk 2,000 miles from Honduras with your baby on your back, and you think they finna push me back across?
Listen, we got a third world country. Well, not
Mexico
all.
not third
It's not
world.
all, but it is spots
Second
where.
world.
Well, it is spots
So-
where
so is
that
America.
shit is
You talking
fucked
about
up.
Mississippi?
Just like I was gonna say, just like America.
Yeah,
No,
You
no,
act
no,
like
no.
America
She right.
is not just like
Mississippi
every
is a
other
third
country.
world.
No.
Me and Matt done been there before.
Okay, it's
Remember
fucked
that
up.
nigga told
in
us we can't
Mississippi.
pump gas there?
It's fucked up in Mississippi, but you can take a walk and you straight.
I honestly don't care about immigration. If people want to come
Thank
to
you,
America,
Brea.
whatever. If we want to go everywhere else and visit every other country, so
a
if somebody
passport.
want to come, I mean,
You can't stay there though. I mean, every
That's
country
true.
not
I
letting
just-
people,
but
letting
my
people
thing-
just
sorry.
move
They
in.
squatting.
I mean, if America wasn't so busy meddling in other countries' stuff, we wouldn't have to worry about people come over here and trying to mess stuff up.
Nah,
over
I
here.
don't know,
That's
Brea.
not the source.
Them niggas
I'm just
coming
saying,
regardless.
I don't care.
Them niggas coming
I mean,
regardless.
I'm just if they
The
have
niggas
came
we
over here
battling
and
with,
they just
ain't
want a
coming.
better life. If you in Mexico and you can't get nowhere, you want to come to America just have a better life. I don't understand what's wrong with that.
But you know what I got over here? And since I ain't grow up in America and don't speak of the English and I ain't really got no skills, I'm
What?
at the stills.
Oh, come on, Trump. What you
People
doing?
in America still. What is the difference between an immigrant and an
Do
American?
we need more people coming to steal it?
Oh my!
Wait a
People gonna
minute.
steal regardless. If they want to steal, they gonna steal,
That
man.
boy went full on Trump on that.
No. This is what I'm saying.
So only Americans can steal
Man
from
got a
Americans.
blind comb over.
I can't give you the benefit of the doubt that if you snuck in here that you're coming here for a better life. What I can do is review your application, send it before the board, and if it's all good, you and your baby can leave in the morning. Y'all got somewhere to go?
I
Y'all
wonder-
got somewhere to stay?
I wish we had intern Bud because I wonder how much an application for American citizenship
Yeah, let me
costs.
get some perspective. 'Cause
I think it's like $5,000.
It's easy to tell the Mexicans or
back.
South America or whoever, just wait, put in the application, and then 5-6 years. People like some of these motherfuckers
You said how
thinking
much
they
is what?
I don't have. It's a dire
Application.
situation. So if you're gonna take the risk
For
to come in,
citizenship?
do your thing. Goddamn, I don't give a fuck. But it is gonna be some obstacles to doing it. And if you get sent
Consequences?
back, it's gonna be some consequences. So if you get caught and you get sent back, fuck it, just try again.
You know the
Shit.
law though. I want to
And
say.
that's all they
I want to
And
point
that
this
makes
out.
sense.
Yeah, that
The
makes
reason
sense.
why we detained them or whatever, because we're saying why we don't just push them back across that bitch. But the reason why we
Not
don't
push them. Do not take my words out of context.
the reason why we don't detain them is the rule is if you set foot on American soil, wherever it is, and you say amnesty, we have to fucking review the case. We can't just send you back or whatever. It don't matter where you from. So if you say amnesty,
You
if
in it?
if you're from England and you say amnesty, and we gotta have the case. Now the case, if you from Mexico and you say amnesty, we gonna be like, bitch, ain't nothing going on in Mexico. You gotta go back. But the case still got to be heard.
The cartel.
That don't count.
I'm running from the violence.
No, sir. No,
I
sir.
use exit.
Your
Your
government gotta
government.
handle that.
Yeah.
How
So
much
it's
it is?
so to apply. You mean like to apply?
Yeah.
To apply is $725.
They ain't got it. They ain't got it.
American or that
American
peso?
That's the most expensive
that's
out of any other
American
country,
dollars.
though. Yeah.
But check
Look
this
at
out, though.
nigga, that's 10,000 pesos.
Wait a minute. But here go the thing.
I think Tate's currency exchange is off.
just to get out of jail.
Uh-oh.
That's true.
I mean,
We American.
a
They
700% interest fee, $700 cover.
That's how we know they
I
ain't got it.
mean,
though.
Them
Don't
Mexicans
come
gotta,
over here.
them Mexicans gotta sell their baby to get $700. That's 10,000 pesos.
Only
boy.
one got to come. If one make it through,
You right.
settle down and get to work.
Hey, man,
Send
get it
that
how
money
you
back,
live,
they can
my
all
nigga.
come over.
Well, that's
Just
how
fill
some
out the
people do it for
paperwork.
real. But the one who got through, he got here illegally, and he been sending it back. But that's true. It do happen like that. You get one through, and then you can have the rest of it flow
I think-
or whatever. But
I think it's real American to immigrate illegally to America. Because you're saying where I'm at ain't good enough for me.
And I wanna
And
do
whatever it takes, I'm going to go get it.
Everybody in America is an immigrant.
I was just
Why
about
we
to say
make such
that.
a big deal about
It's
this?
true.
This is white. This is
Except for Native Americans. 'cause
this
they
is
was
this
it.
is white people problem. This is because niggas don't care.
Nah, this a you problem.
Niggas do care.
No. I
Yeah,
don't-
it is because you know, number one,
Man, if you, hold on. I just want to say we'll get to whatever because most niggas ain't thinking about the goddamn Mexicans unless you in the Mexican area. So you might be right. I just ain't used to that shit. But white people care because it's turning the country brown.
See, I don't care about that either. But see, here go my thing.
White people do,
Here's
and
the-
they majority.
But here's the thing though. Here's the thing though. There's only so many jobs to go around or whatever. And that's why white people feel like that. Oh, it's only so many jobs to go around or
That's a
whatever.
fallacy.
But here's the thing.
They not doing them jobs.
No, that's what I said. I was just about to say
They ain't
that.
picking
They not
strawberries.
picking, they not
Right,
cutting the
exactly.
cabbage.
Exactly.
So they tripping on that. But for us as black people, I think we should care because I think
I ain't cutting the cabbage either.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Okay, go
I'm
ahead,
saying
bro.
that if as minorities, if we
For a
join
dollar?
forces, it
Yeah.
increases our forces. Is what I'm saying.
True.
If it's more of them, then and they feel like they are us, then it's more of us.
Is they
what I'm
fucking
saying.
with us though? If you fucking with us, you an ally, then it's
depends,
cool.
man.
Why would they be fucking with us? They Mexican.
That's true. I recently went to, when we were
They're
at Slim
Honduran.
Wedding. And what
That's
Slim wife?
Guatemalan.
Okay, here go a quick little story.
And-
Me and Tank just went to my brother's wedding or whatever, right? So he married a Mexican woman or whatever. Her grandma got up there and did a speech, and she was like, "I want all you colored people to accept my daughter."
I don't want no problems out
You
y'all.
should have heard my brother grandma, and they'll be like, "What?"
Yeah, Jasmine bust out that.
Colored
Yeah,
people. Oh my.
my cousin Jasmine bust out laughing. She was like, "Bitch!" They about to fight Grandma Mexicano.
We don't have a lot of African Americans in
Hey,
Tijuana.
yo,
I'm new to this.
real funny though. Like all the Mexicans came up to us and was like, "Yo, she didn't mean it like that. She real old." But I was like, "Damn, I ain't know y'all hate us too."
It's not even
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
They counted us. Ain't that what they call them? I watch black and white TV over in Mexico.
But yeah, that shit was crazy.
What is it about American niggas that the whole world don't like?
Because the white people in America told them not to like them.
Africans, China, it's like American black people
He do have a point.
are different than
Every other nigga.
everywhere else.
That's true. He do have a point, man.
We Americans.
We affiliated with that white shit.
We're-
With white
Basically-
imperialism.
We're
think-
Americans.
I think it's because
with dark skin.
I think it's because
Twofold.
Americanism, like the profile of being American, has America's the most powerful country in the world. And as they came to power, they spread their influence. Just like back in the day, Britain was the most powerful country, and the UK spread their power, and everybody had British values. Well, when America started doing it, everybody had American values, and part of American values is fuck niggas.
I think niggas need to recognize that shit and learn how to work within the system, and stop.
You mean
playing-
like vote?
Yeah, man. All this victimhood shit, and always they doing something to me and doing something to me. We on a fucking world leader plantation right now, goddamn it, and we could do whatever the fuck we want to if we all realize.
I don't
it.
agree with that. You
You
can't.
know,
You
we
can't
can
say
do whatever
that.
the fuck we
You
want
can,
to
but
if
you
we all
can't say
realize
that
it.
all black people are treating themselves as victims. We are the victims.
I ain't say no.
Okay.
I ain't say as a victim mentality that I can't do this because
I'm
white
black.
people are so
Right.
oppressive and blah blah blah. Fuck that oppression.
okay.
But you know
I
that
do.
that
Get-
mentality is part of the oppression,
Right.
Because
Yeah,
one of the
you gotta break out of that
it's like
shit.
the whole being woke thing. One of the first things you have to realize when you woke as a black person is that I've thought to myself that being black is not cool, or whatever, or being black is lesser than white. Everybody think that when you kids, it's just like when they had the little experiment. Everybody probably seen it where they took the kids, the black kids, and they
black
asked
girl.
which doll was good or bad, and they picked the white doll every time. I'm pretty sure those kids' parents wasn't saying white is better, but it's the society around you. So first thing you have to do is realize, like, oh shit, the society is making me feel like that, so I'm not gonna do that no more. Then you're right. Then you gotta, to quote Matt, pull up your bootstraps and do something about it, shit, and do it yourself. Like, get better yourself. You do have the opportunity to do some shit, so do it.
Like, we know the system fucked up. We know,
Right.
but-
We know everything fucked up. That's a good point. We know
But it's
everything
not
fucked
fucking
up.
over everybody.
No, it's not
Yeah.
fucking over
That's it, yeah.
everybody.
Yeah.
No, but that's the same.
See,
But we know shit fucked up. The people who is fucking
that's
over.
why it's systematic.
Right.
Right. But since it's not getting everybody, what are those people doing that we not?
Well, it's still a, see this is where the system comes into play.
They voted in they racist granddaddies to make these laws that make our life criminal. Did we take the time to go and say, hey, let's get this off the books?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Well, this is where the system comes into play because it's a mentality thing too of constant white supremacy into your mind. Like every nigga like if you had to realize at some point that you thought white people were better. At some point in my life, I didn't know why. I didn't know how I was doing. It's like
It's true. It's a subliminal.
it's like when I see Bobos. It's like when
It's not true for everybody.
It's like when I see
You don't
Bo-
think so?
like when I see
grew up in
Jordans.
Black excellence.
Like something about a Jordan
But see,
sign
that's
make you
different.
think
Everybody-
that these Jordans is better than the Bobos for some reason.
But that's the point right there. Everybody doesn't grow up the same. Everybody's not exposed. Like my parents exposed me to certain things that other black kids don't get exposed to when they're
And
growing
white
up.
kids, that makes
And white
sense.
kids.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was
those
gonna
are
say that
different.
though. And
Yeah,
it's like you have to have that mentality and you have to have the want to come out of it. It has to like click for you. For some people it doesn't click.
Right.
And they stay like
they
that.
let-
It
and they
just-
get left behind.
Gotta have that
I
click.
mean,
This supposed to be about immigration, right, man? Fuck them Mexicans. That's what bro listen saying. Y'all ain't even talking. Well, y'all.
that's
not
what
bro listen,
Tank
man. That's what
is
Tank saying.
saying.
Y'all done.
I'm not saying fuck Mexicans.
I don't
Look
think
here.
I am
agree
saying
with
I'm
that.
indifferent
all my
about
all my
Mexicans.
Mexican
You're indifferent about
amigos,
Mexicans.
y'all keep on coming across that border. You know, what I'm talking about fuck these crackers over here. There's plenty of room.
Oh,
There's
I don't
plenty of
care.
jobs.
I seriously don't
hate when
care.
they talk about some
It is
jobs
what
like
it
these
is.
crackers go and pick oranges and shit.
Here go my thing about. Here go my thing. I say
that.
this about immigrants. Period. No matter if they Mexican, Japanese, Chinese, wherever you from, and you're an immigrant. Here go my thing or whatever. I'm indifferent about your immigration. If you want, I'm with Matt. If you want to come legally, then come legally. But if you're trying to immigrate illegally, bro, you can't do that. That's not how the law works.
No,
or
you
whatever.
can't do that.
You done already showed us you're a criminal.
Right? No, they
Yeah.
No.
But
That's a good point though. Because if it is illegal, then
No,
don't do it.
man. I hate-
before you attack me, let me finish my point.
Before you attack
but here go my thing. I do also think that these people. Wait a minute. Yeah, I do also think that these people should be given a better opportunity to immigrate. I think the restrictions on immigration are too strong and too fast.
I agree.
And I think they should be given a better opportunity. But you better do it legally. If you get caught, it's like Elian Gonzalez, right? I don't give a fuck about Elian Gonzalez. Take your little Cuban ass back to Cuba. That shit don't bother me because there's kids in the hood that can't get fucking lunch and don't eat. And you think I'm worried about Elian Gonzalez?
They're pulling them off the teeth, though.
Man, fuck that shit.
What happened to that?
And you know what? As far as the baby that got pulled off the titty, I don't care. I really don't.
That's a real change of pace.
Here's why. Here's why I don't care about the baby that got pulled off the titty. Is the baby starving? Did the baby die?
He gonna live.
Don't die. The baby, he probably better taking care of him now than that fucking 30-day walk through
Slow
the
down,
desert.
Trump.
Oh
Slow
my
down, Trump.
He is.
Wow.
The more you think about it.
Now you Trump and this nigga Sessions.
That's it. Wait a minute. I ain't gonna be Sessions, goddamn it. I better be goddamn Pence. I ain't gonna be no goddamn Sessions.
It's time for you to leave.
Hey, wait a minute, man.
I tell you what, I'm being Carson. The pyramids was built by
Now, wait.
Joseph to store grain.
Now one thing,
And I stopped a nigga from robbing the Popeyes one time.
With a knife.
it's one
And I still got my 2-piece spicy, and they was out of spicy. And I still did it.
it one thing to put some sweat in the crack of my ass. Y'all know how irritating that is.
I'm sorry, what?
He said it's
Don't
one
think about it, you gonna
thing
see it.
that puts some
Keep
sweat
going.
in the crack of his ass, and you know how
And when
irritating
niggas
that
start
is.
talking about laws and shit when it comes to these immigrants, fuck these cracker laws. You know, these crackers can make any kind of law they want to. God damn it, it was you know how many laws it was against niggas before. So when they say you're doing it, but it's illegal, man, that shit don't matter to me.
My thing is,
I'm a humanist, like you said last
Right.
week, you black
Humanist,
bastard.
yes.
I'm a humanist. They got to do what they got to do to better their family.
and that's cool.
Can I come stay on
Fuck
you and
these
Kendra couch indefinitely?
Right. That's what I was just about to say.
I'm
Wait,
need-
so
I'm-
what?
I'm
Bring
gonna
on,
need a
come to
key,
your
bro.
house. I'm staying there.
It's
You
all
can't kick me
hypocrisy
out.
because
That's
America feel like
different.
they can
Why?
barge their way into other people's countries and
But them
topple
not
over
the people
governments.
that's
and-
coming.
I don't
Related. That's
care.
not even related.
You cannot dish it out and not want to take it. Period.
That makes no sense because
Yes,
they're
it
not
does.
related.
Yes, it
I
does.
say why.
I agree with
Okay.
Matt though.
And it's
Here's
so
why they're not
no,
related. When we go into Syria, we not going into Syria to stay there. We just going to fuck shit up and we
Yeah.
leaving.
It's
now
still
if I come
wrong.
in
They both-
and I
it's
Rick
still-
James
Still
your couch.
wrong.
Yeah, it's wrong. We ain't arguing
It's
the
not
wrongness
wrong.
of it.
So
What,
how-
going
I
into
don't
another
understand
nigga
how it's
country ain't
not.
wrong? What we
A
arguing?
sovereign nation?
A sovereign going
Yeah.
into sovereign nation
Yeah.
is wrong, bro.
No,
Without cause of war.
I have the big stick. Don't make me beat you with it.
Whoa,
That is
Oh, that's
wrong,
not-
man.
That's not wrong.
Matt,
Because
I'm
you-
trying to-
Hey, that's
you know
nature,
what?
baby.
Because if
That's
you-
nature.
If you don't,
Fuck 'em.
if you
I'm with
don't
you,
do
man.
that, you know who ends up with the big stick? Kim Jong Un.
Slavery wasn't wrong then.
Not if you tag team champions.
Who do you want to have the stick?
Matt, you looking at the bigger picture. I
I'm
feel
sorry,
you.
I can't help myself.
Brea, in a way, Matt right. He who has the big stick swing that bitch.
That's fine.
That's,
Yeah.
So
Who you
like,
wanna
don't
get a
make it
stick-
right.
Who you want to get a stick to?
it don't make it right. But that's
Nature, hey,
I
nature.
understand that's nature. I'm just
big
saying
Nature is
it's wrong.
gruesome.
It's still wrong.
I just watched a video.
nature, yes, but it's wrong.
I just watched a video today where a grizzly bear went and slapped the shit out of motherfucking Bambi and took the calf and ate it live.
Yeah,
This
He
is
ain't
nature.
even give him a fair fight. He just not.
No. Fuck, I don't want you, Bambi. Give me this
He didn't
calf.
process that paperwork. Bambi got to process.
Let me see your papers.
Point being, nature is gruesome, and humans think that we is separate from nature.
Obviously, we're not.
Shit gonna happen.
but-
Do you know why humans think they separate from nature? Because we have consciousness
and we got
have
toilet
morals
paper.
and
We
systems.
wipe our
Right.
ass and shit.
Right.
Okay, so here's my question to that, right? When you say we just hopping in other countries, other sovereign nations are just doing what we want because we want, then why are we not hopping in France and making them eat good food?
They got nukes. They got bacon.
They got guns
Make
too.
them eat
They got
good food.
bacon.
They
got
their food is
guns.
good.
No, you know why? Because we don't see them as a threat to
No,
our
no,
values.
no.
Eat-
It's because they got
it is.
guns. If
They got
France,
allies.
What
I'm
about-
saying,
what
if
about-
France didn't have guns and they was doing something that America
over
didn't
there
like,
trying to-
we'll be
we
over
over
there
there
blowing
trying
them
to
the
topple
fuck
that
up.
too.
But if they
ain't
doing
no
something,
different.
no. Here's what I'm saying though. If they're doing something we don't like, and we're not picking on everybody, because why we not invading Russia? But in the case of Syria, in the case of
not-
Afghanistan,
not-
listen to what
Okay,
I'm
okay,
saying.
okay.
Let him finish his
Sorry.
point.
This is what I'm saying.
That's
Who do you think would treat the citizens of Iraq better, us or Saddam Hussein? You think it was fine when he was gassing the curb?
It's definitely
when
us.
he was enjoying some ethnic cleansing. It's better off
It's
or worse
definitely
off.
us. They're
That would be
better
fine
off.
if we going over there to genuinely help. But when we go over there to help and then we have our own underscoring agenda at the same time, that's what makes it
I
wrong.
don't care. If
But you gotta
cook
have an
dinner
agenda.
because it makes you feel good.
Why can't
If
you
I
just
get
be
to
a
eat-
human and help other people?
I agree with you. Well, now you're a humanist, Brea.
Just
Welcome.
making up stuff.
No, but I agree with
I'm
what you're
really
saying.
not.
Brea, I agree with what you're saying about it's wrong, but that's just Matt and Tank is right. It's just gonna happen. That's the fact of it. Everybody got an agenda. You got an agenda in everything you do. America got an agenda. They want to spread democracy. That's what America want to do. So if you a socialist or a dictatorship, they gonna fuck your shit up. That's just part of the game or whatever. And when they see the ripe opportunity,
Unless you have guns too.
yeah, you better point your shit out the fort, and then I'm pointing my shit out the fort, and then everybody that walk between the fort, we killing them. That's basically how America and the rest of the world work. That's why it's a G7 and not a G197, because it's 7 countries with all the dicks, and they fuck everybody they want to. That's basically how it works, or whatever.
I understand that y'all right. I understand what you're saying.
Oh, you just
I'm just saying
it's
that-
fucked
that's just how I
up.
feel. It's messed up and it's wrong.
But join the
otherwise
Miss
you
Universe
end
pageant.
up with ethnic cleansing and every
This
other
shit's
Because
sad.
I want world peace.
You understand?
world peace is unobtainable.
It is. I know. I'm
It's
just
no
saying.
that asteroid gonna
I'm
bring
just a
it.
very optimistic.
I'm down with the asteroid. I've been
I'm
calling for
very
the asteroid.
optimistic.
gonna
Shout out to Yahweh.
Yeah,
City
me too,
asteroid.
though.
I try to believe in humanity as much as I can, even though it's not. Everybody doesn't.
So
Let me
young,
tell
so
you.
impressive.
Oh my God.
I'm too cynical and evil for that shit. I don't believe in no damn body. I don't even believe in y'all niggas.
Humanity.
Besides doing this show, 'cause y'all do a damn good job.
I'm sure eventually down the line, my mind will change about things. Right now, I'm just.
Yeah, you just gotta.
I'm okay with being like that right
Yeah,
now.
you just
I'm
gotta
okay with
get
it.
fucked
I
up
don't
in
even
life.
care.
It's okay.
Most people is good and decent, and they only doing what they think is good and decent.
I disagree. Most people ain't shit.
I agree with Tank Ass.
Most people ain't shit.
Like these that
But
lady,
if you
that
find-
lady at Empire bail bond, she know
It-
exactly what she doing.
Empire,
And she
yeah.
don't care.
Before we end this show,
I like
Empire.
her.
What you like the
Oh,
Empire
my.
Bell Bond? God damn it, Matthew
ain't
Trump.
You got to think about you got to think about who her customer is. You got to think about what the situation is. Listen, this is your 6th time this year getting arrested for possession at your mama house.
Lock his
I'm
ass up.
tired of playing with you, Tyrone. You can't hit him with the listen, brother man. I understand that the system is against you. If you can't pay the $10 a week, we can work out 7. Can you do 7? She's running the business. If he don't like it, he can go to make it happen.
She shouldn't be in business.
She should be.
That's
She-
the ultimate
she
thing.
shouldn't be
That
in
they
business.
should
The
not be in
business
business.
model, maybe it should be done away with. That's
Right.
my thought.
Right.
But
$10
if
a week.
if it exists, it's clearly what she's doing is working. Because nice guys bail bond, I ain't seen that commercial yet.
I don't want no bail bonds. Fuck the bail bond system. Do away with it. Put in the review board. And then on immigration,
Change the law to just
if you make it, good for you, bruh. That's what's up. But if you get caught, I can't fight that battle. And the reason why I say that is because I got my own shit to worry about. I'm not about to stand on no picket line
don't care.
arguing for you to become a citizen. You know, if this is what you want and you want to get here, earn it. Do it then. Cross the border. If you make it, cool for you. If you don't, whatever. That's what I'm saying. All the
what's
people who made it,
Push them back. Are we pushing them
we
back?
can't push them back. Brea, that was a bad idea. We ain't got them type of
I
guns.
did not say
Take
push
them
them
back,
back.
push them back.
Just-
You thought-
Sessions, Trump, and motherfucking Ivanka.
let me tell you something, Cedric.
Get off.
If you call me Jeff Sessions one more motherfucking time, that motherfucker got 13 people in his cabinet, and you keep calling me the racist motherfucker from Alabama that think weed smoking is bad. You better not call me Jeff Sessions no goddamn more.
Sessions, Trump, and
Please don't call me
Ivanka.
a surfboard.
Yeah, at least, I want to be Betsy DeVos. I think private schools is perfect, and I think y'all kids
gosh.
stupid.
I took a tour. Free lunch is terrible.
That's it.
Is that what that hoe said?
Bruh, bruh.
You know,
Oh
there's
my
so
God.
many words.
Betsy DeVos is trash, bro.
She
Like,
is
she
trash.
horrible.
How many babies she got?
She had
Ooh,
several,
she
but they
got-
all paid for them.
Yeah, they all straight.
Yeah,
They
they
get college
good.
good.
They chilling.
You want to know how bad of a person
I
she
was
is?
trying to find out about that pussy.
Remember when the Wells
It's
Fargo
between the
thing
knees.
came out that they were stealing money and all the credit cards
Yeah.
and shit and fucking up the loans? Betsy DeVos was the CEO. Oops. So he took the CEO of the worst company in America and was like, bitch, you run education. 'cause
but-
you sure seem
But
But
you think that pussy bald or hairy?
all right, time to go.
What do we think? Harry. D say Harry. That one over here. Kendra, baby, what you think? Ball? Kendra say ball.
You cut off. You
That's it.
Cedric Owens
That was
cut
it.
off.
God damn it, Cedric.
That's it.
Hey, man, that's it.
I think that thing hairy, boy. That's some
For the record,
vintage
I just want to
pussy.
say
That's why she's so
that-
mad.
I'm about to say, I want to say it's hairy and it's nappy and they keep getting caught on her panties. So that's why she angry all the time and she want to fuck our kids over.
God.
But that being said, man.
That's why we can't change shit. Because we supposed to be talking about this poor legislation,
Y'all
and
got-
you over here with these.
Y'all done got Matt mad again. It was a good show. Matt was doing good.
We was winning
Matt
till it
sick of y'all
happened.
shit.
We was winning till it happened.
We was winning. You know
We
he
could have
got-
had it all, black people. We could have had it all.
Hey,
God,
we had a show
Tank.
where we almost all agreed for the
God.
most of the show, and then
And then Tank.
take like Bush a
Happy.
ball head.
We even shook off the kill 'em.
That's it.
There
We pushed through.
There we go, bro. Listen, Bush a ball head. What we doing?
But D, if you say Bush one more time, you banned from the peanut gallery. Bush baby. Hey, that's what they be eating when they be coming across the border. Beans and shit. I seen Dennis the Menace. When you go camping, you eat beans in a can.
Bring it back all full frontal.
That's it. Full circle is what it's called. Full frontal. Boy, you got a problem, man.
Whatever that shit called, bro.
Full frontal is nudity.
You cut off.
Full circle.
But I think,
Bring it
Bruh
all
Nation,
back.
I think Tank might be have a
Fucked up.
pornography problem or
intervention
something like
next
that. Yeah. But man, we appreciate everybody listening, man. We hope y'all enjoy episode number 14, man. We gonna go ahead on and wrap it up, man, and get these final thoughts in. Before we go, I just want to say, everybody out there, man, check us out. Like us on Facebook so you can keep up with our information. Follow us on Twitter at Bruh Listen Pod. And also follow us on Instagram at Bruh Listen Podcast. And like and subscribe and hit the notification bell on YouTube. If you're watching this, we appreciate it. If you're not watching it and you're listening, watch it. 6 p.m. Saturday, YouTube. Check it out or whatever. But we're going to go ahead on and wrap it on up, get these final thoughts. Matt, what's your final thought, baby?
Your mind is the factory that produces your life. So use good materials.
There it is. Socrates. Tank, what your final thought is, man?
Cause I hate to spend my life ducking one time.
I'm okay with that, actually. That's pretty deep.
That's Tupac.
That was Tupac. That's philosophy
Fist
stuff
up in the
right
air.
there. Yeah.
No, but no, for real.
This
real,
nigga
real,
D
real,
said he thought it was Mary J. Blige.
real. Now, on the first one, on the bail bondsman, hey man, try to stay out of trouble. And if you do get into trouble,
Don't bond out if you did.
Don't bond out.
Save your money.
don't bond out. No.
Okay, well, what you saying?
Yeah, you're right. Don't
Don't bond
bond
out.
out.
Save your money.
Yeah.
All right. You got anything on the immigration thing that you want to add, or you done?
On the immigration, but you know me, the verdict on Mexican bitches bought a bush. They all
Ask for more.
bush.
You got
You
more.
right. You right,
Real
man.
shit.
I did that to myself.
You got him.
We miss
You
you,
know they
intern,
bush.
bud.
Intern Bud, where you at, man? I feel like if you was here, this shit wouldn't be carrying on like this, man.
Make these thoughts
He be in the
fine,
back.
damn it.
That's it. Don't Tank. Don't you do it. And then Tank would be forced to say, "Bud, sit your ass down," instead of making Bush
And then we get
comments.
back. Then we get
Brea,
back.
what's your final thoughts?
I'm all for the pretrial. What do you call it?
Intervention.
There you go, intervention. These bills bondsmen, I'm not on board with that at all. Get rid of everywhere. Get rid of it everywhere. And the immigration, I just don't care. If you want to come to America, come to America. It is what it is.
What's up? We gonna meet you at the border and we gonna push your ass back over. Not today. Gas high.
I really think that's a simple solution. America, if you don't want people, just send them everywhere.
I don't want to say
If you
Wakanda.
don't want them here, bye.
Wakanda ain't tolerate that shit. They had a zero immigration policy.
There you go.
Ain't no application to get in Wakanda.
Get your muscles up.
Damn right.
You try to get in Wakanda if
We
you want
cannot
to.
let them all in here. What happened to this palace?
How will we feed them?
America already messed up as it is.
Wakanda ain't have no immigration, so I gotta go with Wakanda on that one. T'Challa, that's the only thing you got right. Don't let nobody in, baby, except me.
Right.
I'm your brother. And my final thought, man, I'm gonna say this, man. Immigration and the bail bonds and all that justice system and stuff. If you disprivileged, man, don't give up. If you in a hard situation, don't give up, man, because you can achieve it, bro. If you're in a bad situation and you're an ex-felon or whatever, and you want to be somebody, you can be somebody, dude. And if you're an immigrant or a kid of an immigrant and you came over here and everything, the odds were stacked against you, don't think that you can't make it, man. If you out there and you listening to our voice, man, you can make it. Remember, believe, achieve, and be somebody. So that's my final thought. or whatever.
Rob a bank if you got to. Fuck them.
Not my bank.
Not my bank, but a bank.
Do what you got to do, baby.
Yeah, go back in time and rob Wells
Bring
Fargo
trucks.
when Betsy DeVos was in charge of.
Brink Trucks got a lot of weaknesses. Y'all got to peep them. All right. They had two niggas in the
Too
bike.
much Grand Theft Auto.
One in the front. All
But
right.
we appreciate everybody for listening, man. Bro, Listen Podcast, episode number 14, man. Thanks for checking us out on the YouTube. Like, subscribe, hit the bell. And yeah, man, as we say every week, all power to the people. Peace.